In the heart of Egyptian mythology lies the goddess Nephthys, a figure often overshadowed by her more celebrated sister, Isis. Born from the powerful union of Geb, the god of the earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky, Nephthys shares her lineage with Osiris and Seth, creating an intricate web of relationships among the deities of ancient Kemet. This genealogy is not merely a series of names, but embodies the dualities of life and death, chaos and order that were central to Egyptian beliefs. As the fourth sibling, Nephthys occupies a unique position within this divine lineage, symbolizing the delicate balance between the realms of the living and the dead. Understanding her origins provides valuable insight into her complex character, revealing how she was never simply a companion to her sister, but a formidable deity in her own right. From her inception, Nephthys was associated with both protection and mourning, a duality that reflects the intersection of life and death within her divine role. Often known as the mistress of the house or lady of the temple enclosure, her name evokes images of the sacred spaces where spiritual rituals took place. This title suggests not just a place of worship, but a sanctuary for souls, a theme that resonates throughout her mythology. As a protector in funerary rituals, Nephthys serves as an unyielding guardian of the dead, guiding their spirits through the dark passages of the underworld. Her presence was felt during critical moments of the afterlife journey, as she mourned for the lost and provided comfort to those left behind. This early association with the supernatural lays the groundwork for her reputation as a key figure in the Egyptian pantheon, dedicated to the well-being of both the deceased and their families. What is striking about Nephthys is how her identity as a protective figure brings forth her intrinsic connection to the cycles of life and death. Although overshadowed by the stories of her brother Osiris and beloved sister Isis, her narrative holds significant weight within the larger mythological framework. As the goddess who watched over the deceased, her role is vital in ensuring a safe transition into the afterlife, a theme emphasized in various funerary texts and rituals. Her magical abilities and divine qualities allowed her to serve as both a comforter and a guardian, earning her the epithets that highlight her importance among the gods. By exploring Nephthys' origins, we unveil a rich character who embodies the nuances of death and resurrection, showcasing why she remains an essential deity in the spiritual beliefs of ancient Egypt that transcends the mere acknowledgement of mortality. As a guardian of the dead, Nephthys held a vital place in the intricate rituals surrounding death and mourning in ancient Egypt. Her role was not merely ceremonial. She served as a protective entity who accompanied the deceased on their passage to the afterlife. Often depicted as a kite, a bird that was associated with the act of mourning, her form symbolized both protection and sorrow. This duality is poignant, reflecting the ancient Egyptians' belief in the intertwining of life and death. Nephthys' sorrowful presence was felt during funerals, as she was envisioned wailing for the departed, offering comfort and guidance. The ancient tradition of invoking her name during these significant moments illustrates the deep reverence held for her as a deity who understood the trials of both the living and the dead. The significance of Nephthys extends beyond her symbolic representation. Her influence permeated the very fabric of funerary rites and customs. Through the ages, her role as a protective deity gave rise to a unique class of professional mourners known as the Hawks of Nephthys. These mourners were instrumental in honoring the dead, embodying Nephthys' spirit as they chanted and lamented in her name. The professional aspect of mourning became a crucial part of Egyptian society, demonstrating the impact of Nephthys in ritual practices. Her association with lamentation and grief provided a framework for these mourning rituals, ensuring that the dead were treated with the utmost respect as they transitioned into the afterlife. This acknowledgement of Nephthys as both a deity and a central figure in funerary customs highlights her enduring legacy in Egyptian culture. As we reflect on her role as a guardian and a mourner, it becomes clear that Nephthys represented not just the sorrow that accompanies death, but also the hope and protection provided to the souls of the departed. She was a figure who transcended mere mourning. Nephthys ensured that the deceased were accompanied into the afterlife by a divine presence, alleviating the fears of those left behind. Her enduring image served as a reminder of the cyclical nature of existence and the promise of protection following death. To the ancient Egyptians, Nephthys was more than a goddess of the funerary realm. She was a guiding light through the darkness, embodying the belief that even in death, one is not alone. As the friend of the dead, she provided a sense of comfort that resonated throughout Egyptian society, affirming her important position within their spiritual and cultural landscape. The relationship between Nephthys, Isis, and Seth unfolds as a compelling narrative that captures the essence of loyalty, betrayal, and the complex dynamics of familial ties. Central to this drama is the Osiris myth, where Nephthys plays a critical role that exemplifies her duality. As the devoted sister of Isis, Nephthys' protective nature is evident as she mourns for Osiris after his tragic murder by Seth. However, her actions are layered with complexity when we consider her secretive liaison with Osiris, an event steeped in intrigue and controversy. This betrayal is not merely an act of deception. It underscores Nephthys' struggle between her loyalty to her sister and her own desires, setting the stage for deeper drama within the divine family. As ancient texts reveal, Nephthys took on the guise of her sister, Isis, to seduce Osiris, resulting in the birth of their son, Anubis. This action embodies a profound internal conflict. Nephthys is caught in a web of loyalty to Isis while navigating her own emotional needs and the chaos instigated by Seth, the child born from this union. Anubis becomes a pivotal figure in the afterlife, commanding respect as the god of mummification and the dead. Thus, Nephthys' seemingly contradictory role as both the nurturer of life through Anubis and a harbinger of betrayal fuels the narrative tension within the Osiris myth. Her complex choices resonate deeply, revealing the multifaceted nature of divine relationships and the emotional reverberations of her actions. The repercussions of Nephthys' choices spiral outwards, impacting not only her relationship with Isis, but also the fate of the entire pantheon. After Seth learns of the betrayal, his rage results in the murder of Osiris, casting a long shadow over the family. Nephthys, torn by guilt and loyalty, oscillates between these tumultuous emotions as she assists Isis in the search for her brother's dismembered body. This tale of sisterly bonds entwined with deception emphasizes the emotional stakes at play, drawing viewers into the rich intricacies of these divine lives. Ultimately, Nephthys' actions and the consequences that follow underscore her importance in the mythological landscape. She embodies the intricate balance of love and betrayal that defines the relationships among the gods, reinforcing her essential role within the timeless narrative of the Osiris myth. As the story of Osiris unfolds, we arrive at one of the most poignant moments in Egyptian mythology, his resurrection. Here, Nephthys plays a significant role alongside her sister Isis, highlighting their powerful bond. After Osiris was brutally murdered by Seth and dismembered, the two sisters embarked on a heartbreaking journey filled with sorrow and determination. Nephthys, often depicted as embodying the traits of mourning and protection, stood faithfully by Isis's side. Their collaboration is a testament to the strength of sisterhood as they navigated the shadowy realms of death, striving to restore their brother to life. This sacred duty required not just courage, but deep emotional resilience, underscoring an intimate connection between the two goddesses. The mummification process symbolizes the transition from death to rebirth, a sacred act that both Nephthys and Isis took part in. As they prepared Osiris's body, they embodied the mysteries of life and death, demonstrating to the ancient Egyptians the importance of preserving the deceased for the afterlife. Nephthys, with her protective wings, provided a comforting presence, ensuring that all the necessary rituals were performed correctly. As they anointed Osiris's body and wrapped him in linen, it became clear that their actions were imbued with love, reflecting their desire to not only honor their brother, but also to empower him for his journey beyond the grave. The emotion behind this act is palpable, transforming the act of mummification into a story of hope amidst despair. The culmination of their efforts culminated in a blend of sorrow and joy, as Osiris was ultimately resurrected through the magic of Isis, aided by Nephthys' unwavering support. This act of rebirth served as a powerful confirmation of the cycle of life and death, a concept deeply rooted in Egyptian beliefs. Nephthys' role as a nurturer and protector shines through, making her integral to this narrative of resurrection. The bond between the sisters through this transformative experience not only emphasizes their devotion, but also highlights the divine collaboration essential for overcoming the darkness of death. Their shared journey, characterized by love and grief, becomes a powerful emblem of hope for the living, reinforcing the notion that life continues in a different realm and that the bonds forged in life endure even in death. As we journey into the afterlife, the figure of Nephthys emerges prominently, embodying her role as the friend of the dead. This title not only establishes her as a compassionate presence for the departed, but also highlights her significant contributions to the spiritual well-being of souls navigating their posthumous journey. In ancient Egyptian belief systems, the afterlife was not merely a destination. It was a realm filled with trials and transformative experiences. Nephthys, along with other goddesses, stood as guardians, ensuring that the deceased were not alone as they traversed the paths of the afterlife. Her nurturing essence provided comfort, reminding souls that guardianship awaited them beyond the grave. The importance of Nephthys in the afterlife is poignantly illustrated in various artistic depictions, where she is often shown alongside other prominent goddesses, such as Isis and Selkut, protecting the pharaoh's mummified body and canopic vessels. This imagery is more than ceremonial. It solidifies her role as a caretaker of souls, emphasizing the enduring connection between life and death. Within the Egyptian religion, Nephthys served as a reassuring figure for the living, representing hope and the promise that loved ones would be cared for even after they departed from this world. Her presence alongside the pharaohs highlights that no one, especially those of significant status, would face the journey to the afterlife without the watchful eyes of deities like Nephthys. Moreover, in many funerary texts, Nephthys is depicted as an integral component of the rituals that prepare the deceased for their eternal journey. This involvement reinforces the understanding that death is not the end, but rather a continuation of existence, where the souls are transitioned into another realm. As she guides the spirits, Nephthys serves to alleviate the fears associated with mortality, embodying the belief that a compassionate protector is always present through the darkest passages of the afterlife. This connection between mortality and the eternal journey illustrates her essential role in Egyptian spirituality, framing the afterlife not as something to dread, but as a transformative journey enriched by divine guidance and protection. In honoring Nephthys, ancient Egyptians reaffirmed their faith in an afterlife that was safe and nurturing, reinforcing her lasting legacy as a beloved goddess. As we explore the legacy and worship of Nephthys, it becomes clear that her status evolved remarkably throughout the long history of ancient Egypt. While deities like Isis enjoyed widespread acclaim and adoration, Nephthys maintained her importance, particularly within the realms of funerary practices and the afterlife. One reason for her sustained reverence lies in the essential role she played as a protector of the dead. Her association with burial rites and the guidance she offered to spirits navigating the afterlife established her as a key figure in the spiritual belief system of ancient Egyptians. Even when overshadowed by more popular goddesses, Nephthys remained an enduring symbol of comfort and support for those confronting death. In various periods of Egyptian history, temples dedicated to Nephthys were established, signaling her significance in both public worship and private devotion. These sites often hosted rituals aimed at ensuring protection from the uncertainties of the afterlife, reflecting how her influence reached beyond traditional worship. She was frequently invoked during critical moments surrounding death, allowing her to remain deeply embedded within the cultural fabric of Egyptian society. This connection with the living reinforced her identity not merely as a goddess of the dead, but as a companion who cared for the souls of the deceased and comforted those left behind. This transformative nature of belief underlines her unique position as a deity who bridged the gap between life and the afterlife. By the time of the Ptolemaic dynasty, Nephthys had established herself as a vital part of the pantheon, enjoying interactions with prominent gods and goddesses while simultaneously fostering her own independent identity. Her role as a guardian and nurturer resonated with the values of the time, as the Egyptians sought reassurances of protection and guidance in life and death.